So guys, just notice how rainy it is. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. So rainy days, we can have two different outlooks on life. We can either take a rainy day as just a really sad, dull, boring, dry day, or we can take a rainy day as an opportunity. An opportunity that, okay, maybe it's going to be a little bit slower going today. Maybe I'll have a little bit of extra time. Maybe I won't have to go outside and do any work. So this is an opportunity for me to get a little bit more stuff done, concentrate on some things. We all have these rainy days in our lives. We all have rainy days in our lives that will make us feel like it's just dull, dreary, dry, really sucky. But it is what we make of it. And you can control your feelings and your emotions. Our feelings and our emotions and how we react to certain situations is something that was programmed into us from birth. It's something that, it has a little bit to do with genetics, but we can't blame our genes on everything. I know plenty of people whose parents are just not great people at all, but they turned out to be some of the best people ever. So you cannot blame your genes. It has to do with how you're programmed from the time you're a little bitty baby. And that's because your parents, they had an overwhelming influence on your life. And if your parents were depressive people, or if your parents were angry people, or if your parents were constantly negative, that's been programmed into you. And I got to tell you guys, it's not your fault. That's just the situations and the environment that we grew up in. And a lot of people who make it big, they grew up in great environments. But I got to tell you, a lot of people who grew up in terrible environments grow up to be great. And it's because they learned how to reprogram their thinking. So it's not your fault, but you do have an opportunity to change the programming of your thinking. Think about it like this. Take a situation. When things are great, there's nothing really to be bad, to have a bad mood about or anything like that. But it's when we encounter the negative situations in life that we really test and find out just how our environment really does affect how we react. Some people, you'll notice, they go through the worst things and they come out, the whole time, it just seems like it's just an ordinary day. Some people can go through the toaster burning their toast, and you'd think that their significant other just died. I mean, but it's all about your environment that you grew up in and how your brain is programmed to treat certain situations. And I want you to know that you can reprogram it. One of the things that I do when I talk to people about my business and we get started is I do a lot of one-on-one coaching and mentoring. And one of the things that we do is we go back and we look at your childhood, and we look at, there's things that happen when you're a kid that your brain is pushing back into the back, way deep in the back of your mind, and it doesn't want you to remember them. But just because it's back in the back of your mind and you don't remember it necessarily or don't think about it, doesn't mean that it doesn't affect your life. It does. When I went through my own one-on-one mentoring, I discovered that getting my mouth taped shut when I was in 5th grade, and that whole experience was very traumatic for me. Although I kind of remembered it just kind of as a funny thing that happened, but really there was lots of traumatic emotions and feelings and things that I didn't know existed out of that. And we got that out. And you can't fix it. You can't just, in that one session, just erase it. It's in your mind. But what we can do is help you to realize that it's there and help you to realize when it's affecting you so that you can start the reversing effect and start reversing it, allowing it to affect what you do in your day-to-day life. So it's a very powerful thing. And I'd love to sit down and discuss what's going on in your life that may be holding you back from becoming the great person that you're meant to be. A lot of us, I would say most of us, can be a whole lot more than we are right now, myself included. And if we continue to let the things that happened in the past, the mistakes of the past, hold us back, then we'll never progress. We'll never become the great people that we were meant to be. So guys, I want you to know that it's possible, and it's not your fault that you haven't gotten there yet, but I want to help you make it happen. Alright, so go to my website, meetwilliambryant.com, put your name, email, phone number in there so that we can talk, and we'll get right to it. I want to make sure that you have every tool possible and that you can make happen what you need to happen in your life to make your dreams come true. So guys, it's been William Bryant from meetwilliambryant.com. I'll talk to you soon.